Hi, my name is Toluwani Obayan. Welcome to my channel. Every time I come up close, I always feel as if I'm actually seeing you and you're seeing me, you know. I'm doing a get to know me tag. Honestly speaking, the tag is not enough to get to know a person per se, but it's a start. I'll be reading through the questions. Hopefully it can just be a quick one. I wore lipstick today, so I made an effort. Where did I grow up? I grew up in several places. First of all, Ilorin. Then when I was 6, we moved to the UK, precisely London. Then when I was 9, we moved back to Nigeria, back to Ilorin. From Ilorin, we moved to Ota, Canaan land. I lived in Canaan land until I was 28. Then we moved to Victoria Island, Lagos. Who is your first best friend? Well, my first best friend, her name was Eniton, but she passed when I was really young. She passed when we were still in reception. Yeah, I think she had typhoid, but she was my first best friend. Yeah. How tall am I? 5'5", and I say that with a lot of joy because for many years I thought I was 5'4.5". Then I checked one day and I saw I was actually 5'5", and I was like, oh my gosh. It doesn't mean I grew taller, but then just the knowledge of the fact that I was taller than I thought I was, it was like a reward. It was like a reward. 5'5". Dogs or cats? In all honesty, there was a time I really did not like cats at all. I couldn't stand them. And I prayed about it because I'm like, God made cats too, so. And thank God I can see that they're beautiful too. Doesn't mean every now and again I don't look at them with side eye, but yeah. Dogs. I had a dog once when I was much younger. I've only had one dog in my life because for some reason when I was growing up, we always had no pets in the places we lived or something like that. Apart from when I was much younger, then I had this dog called Clinton. It was named after President Clinton because I think around that time he had just come into office. Yeah, Clinton was a white dog. So I had a dog, and then afterwards I never had, like since that time I never had a dog. But I still feel as if dogs are mine. Funniest moment throughout high school? Ah, that's a difficult one. Oh yes, I remember one. Funniest moment throughout high school. I guess it's funny in the sense of the memory of it because looking back at it, I'm like, what on earth were you doing, Toluwani? What were you doing? What were you even thinking? I was in like just 2 or so, and I think for some reason I used to laugh a lot during night prep. I went to boarding school, and I used to laugh a lot during night prep. So I guess things that happened in junior school is that like, I was known as the person who would laugh the most in class. So there was this Wednesday, was a Christian school, and there was this Wednesday and we had like a service, chapel service, communion service or something like that. Or was it a Friday? I can't remember. There was this day and there was a program in the hall, in the multipurpose hall, and for some reason it was a period where we were talking about joy, and then there was this competition that was put up and we were supposed to come out set by set, like just 1, just 2, just 3, to be laughing. To be laughing, and we were asked to nominate the people that could laugh the best, and I was really feeling myself. I was really feeling myself like, ooh, you're the laugher of the class. My classmates even pushed me out. Toluwani, you're the one who can really laugh for us. Please go and represent us. Go and laugh for us. I think I represented, like, we now climbed on stage, and I don't remember, and there was nothing to necessarily laugh about, but we were just told to start laughing. And it was embarrassing for some reason, but I was in JS2, so it wasn't that embarrassing. And I was laughing, my mates were laughing, we were laughing all together, and there was nothing funny. And it was just looking back at the whole thing, it feels so awkward now. Looking back, it's really funny. And then I think we had seniors that came up, like when it got to like SS2, SS3, I think SS1 still laughed a bit, but SS2s were like, this is so below me, I'm not going to laugh. SS3s too didn't laugh. I think they got punished for it. But all these things that happened in secondary school, that's like my funniest memory. What year was I born? I was born in 1990. Am I in or have I gone to college? I went to university. finished in 2012 for my first degree, and I finished in 2013 for my second degree, but the graduation was in 2014. Yes, mass communication and film and TV studies. Those are the 2 degrees I did. What is my spirit animal and why? No, I don't have that. You're wearing perfume. What scent is it? Is. You're wearing perfume. What scent is it? Interestingly, I don't know why I wore perfume now, because it's not like I was going out. But I just said, let me feel like I finished dressing up, Because usually I wouldn't wear perfume just indoors. Can you imagine the mosquito is on my screen? Does it think that there's blood there? Please, can you leave that? I blew it away! Yeah. Okay. So if I'm wearing, what scent is the perfume I'm wearing? Interestingly, I wasn't going to wear perfume, but I just said, let me feel like I'm actually going out. Let me feel as if I'm receiving people into my space. And now I see this question, so I feel like it's good to live ready. So what perfume, what scent? I'm wearing Life is Beautiful. And I've been using Life is Beautiful since last year, and I started using it last year because every time I sprayed it on, it just reminded me to always look for the beauty that God puts in every day. It was like me fighting to see the beauty in every day, and I guess when you're fighting to see the beauty in every day, when the seasons are very difficult, you just need to surround yourself with things that make you look in that direction constantly. If it's sticky notes, songs, perfume. So yeah, Life is Beautiful. I think, what's it by again? Life is Beautiful. I've forgotten who it's by, but Life is Beautiful. What's my favorite drink? Well, right now it's water. And that has been by force and by fire. Because it used to be Coke. Until the Coke thing got out of hand and I had to say, Coke, you're not good for me. Let me go where I am truly loved. And water is the one that has shown me love. So right now, water is my favorite drink. The feeling, the love is reciprocal. The feeling is mutual. Water is my favorite drink. It's good for me. I like it. Tea or coffee? Water. Tea or coffee? More tea, but I don't really like. I have a very low tolerance for caffeine. So sometimes even tea but tea or maybe a chocolate drink or something, but coffee definitely no, unless it's decaffeinated. What are my life goals? To make God proud. I want him to say, you did good. That's it. And that means I'll be following his lead in everything I do. When he corrects, I would listen. Just at the end of the day, to hear him say, you did really good and I'm proud of you. That's my goal in life. What sports do I play or have I played? Feels like a very distant memory. Is walking a sport? I guess not. I played a bit of basketball in school. I played a bit of football, even though it's not like I scored any goals. I was just good at running and almost controlling the ball. Sports, I think I could run a bit. I did a bit of cross country or cross whatever location we were in. So that wasn't, it was a sport, but music is a sport, right? Have any books you read changed your life? Several. I'm thinking now. One of the books I'll never forget, or should I say group of books I'll never forget, Chronicles of Narnia. It just opened up my imagination in a way that I'll always be grateful for. I remember how my dad convinced me to get that book. We were in the UK that time. And I had read, I think I was like 6 or so, or 7 max. And I had read Matilda like not long before, but I had gotten it from the library. So we went for this sale that my school set up then, and I now saw Matilda was on sale and I wanted to buy it. And my dad was like, Toluwani, you've read Matilda before, try something new. He now showed me The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and he was like, I've read this book, I know you will love it. I was like, then I want Matilda. He said, try something new. So I tried something new and I fell in love with the books, and we've been inseparable since. I love C.S. Lewis. He's blessed me so much. I love the way he could describe what he was imagining every time and communicating so articulately. You feel every character, you feel the story world. Chronicles of Narnia. What is my favorite movie? That's such a difficult question. It's really too difficult for me to answer. I have several favorites per season. Let me try and think of an all-time favorite. Maybe because of how much it means to me and the way it's just very much treasured in my heart. Maybe Mulan. Because I can't say it's my favorite because I'm in movies and I watch a lot of films, I analyze a lot of films, I learn from films a lot, but Mulan, I think I kind of quote the film almost word for word. I've forgotten a few bits of it now, but Mulan quotes like, "The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all." Or, "No matter how the wind howls, the mountain cannot bow to it." Like when she's asking, when will my reflection show who I am inside? And I guess maybe for a while, I just felt like I was hidden inside and maybe no one could really see who I was. I don't know, there were just many levels of me relating to Mulan. And let me see, there's a part of the film I can even quote. Said, "Did I hear someone ask for a miracle? Let me hear you say ah." So now like, ah, that's close enough. Yeah. Who are my favorite YouTubers? Whoosh. I can't say I have one favorite YouTuber with personality sense. I just tend to really love YouTube channels that give me a lot of film resources, writing resources, like screencraft, film courage. I think there's this guy, his name is Taylor, I've forgotten his surname. And then Studio Binder, like that's such a good channel to follow if you have like a production outfit and stuff. I used to watch Patricia Bright a lot at a point because she's very interesting. But I guess now I'm just more interested in resource-centric YouTube channels. They're messages, but they're not really YouTubers, you get. So yeah. Do I speak any languages and how well? Well, I speak English quite well, really well. I speak French and Spanish. Un poco. Very, very little. Very, very little. And I can read a little bit, I can write, I have an idea of the punctuation, grammar, a little bit. I need to work on that. But yeah, Yoruba. Even though people laugh at my Yoruba, I understand it more than most languages, apart from English. And that I don't think that means too much. And I'm not ashamed to ask when I don't understand. Am I single or taken? First of all, taken to where? But if you mean, am I in a relationship? No, I'm not. But my heart belongs to Jesus. So it's not like I'm just somewhere in limbo like that. No, don't get it wrong. I'm single. Let me just answer straightforwardly. I don't have to be dramatic about the answer. I'm single, yes. What's my idea of a dream date? I would have said movies, but then I'm like, when you go and watch movies, you're not really talking to the person, right? I don't know, maybe having fun and games where you really get to interact. Just the type of situation where the two people involved don't have to, where it's just natural and you don't have to form a closeness that's not there yet, but it's still a comfortable setting. Authentic, you know. I don't know what that type of date looks like, but basically. How long was my longest relationship? I think 2 years. How will I describe my fashion sense? I would say Afrocentric. Comfy and Afrocentric, because comfort is so important. So I don't like being uncomfortable. So usually I would wear something that's loose fitting. Every once in a while you see me wearing something that's a bit fitted and stuff. My friends had to stage an intervention. Should I call them out? No, I'll give them their privacy. They had to stage an intervention when they opened my wardrobe and they were only saying big, like, Toluwani, please now, please. So I tried to find middle ground, What's my go-to hairstyle? This, like dreadsish faux locks. How many siblings do I have? I have one sibling. I have a brother. What's my go-to fast food order? Smoothie. Is a smoothie fast food? Like, that wasn't always the case, but I have changed. We were playing a game recently and my friends couldn't believe that I go for salads now. Do I use a PC or Mac? PC. I don't understand why there's discrimination. My most memorable childhood memory. Maybe it's a couple of memories, I guess. I could talk about. There's several. Maybe I'll mention two because it's hard to. And this was when I was like maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. I just know before we traveled to the UK. And even when we were in the UK, like Daddy and Mom would sit around, and myself and Joshua would sit like with them, and Daddy would tell us a bedtime Bible story, but it wasn't reading it from a book. He was telling us the story step by step with all the action, with all the drama, and we'd be so fascinated. And Mommy would also be there supporting in the storytelling. And then after everything, Daddy would now ask, "What's the moral of the story?" And we would all, I don't know how we started knowing that we had something that was worth sharing, but we would all say what we learned, and then Mommy would say something, Daddy would now say something else, and it was always just so beautiful because as he would share, we would always be like, this God is so awesome. I want to know him. He's amazing. He did all this, he did all that, and yeah. Come to think of it, maybe my favorite childhood memory is the time I gave my life to Jesus when I was 8. Because I think this all leads up to that, because I was really young, and all I know is that I remember that day I was just so overjoyed. It was a Sunday, we couldn't go to church that morning, and Daddy said I should preach when we set up the pews and everything in the house, and I was surprised because I was so young, why would I be the one preaching? But Daddy said, Toluwani, you should preach. And I preached, and I was just bubbling for joy the whole day, as if I couldn't explain it. Something was happening that I couldn't explain. And my parents had spoken to me about their own salvation experiences, how they met Jesus. My dad gave his life to Christ when he was 10. My mom gave her life to Christ when she was in her 20s. But they had been always so open, and it wasn't like one mysterious faraway thing. It was almost like God is here with you too, Toluwani. When I told them I wanted to give my life to Christ, they didn't laugh, they didn't say, "Oh, you're too young, what do you know about it?" They were excited, and they prayed with me, and they called all my aunties, my uncles, my grandparents to tell them I had become a committed Christian, I had given my life to Jesus. So I think that's my favorite memory, because it's not as if, since that time, it's not like, like I say it again and again, it's not like I've lived squeaky clean since that time. I've had a lot of stepping away, and then he'll come and find me and bring me back to him and stuff. But it always just intrigues me how you can be so young and God is not discarding your essence. And it makes me look at children and think God loves them so much, and he doesn't belittle them until they're adults. He wants them to know him even at that age. What are my morning, evening routines? Believe it or not, I'm not really a person that loves routines. But these days, I'm having to create some routine because just the way work is, and I need to be productive. And if I say I'll just try and do it in any way I'm able, I can't be as productive as I need to be, and I can't afford not to be productive with the amount of work I need to do. So usually my routine would be, but if there's anything that's a major routine, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll spend time with God. It's non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable thing, is that sometimes when things get very busy, I'm like, let me just read this passage and get on with the work for the day. Interestingly, it feels like the days when I've decided not to do, like, God, let me get to the important stuff. It feels like those days I'm even more productive than the days I rushed through and then I say I want to be productive. So yeah, it's my routine, like, okay, start the day with him properly. And then other things, check messages, check my emails, check what needs to be checked, reply. Then hopefully by 8 o'clock, usually this would be already like, I would wake up most times before 5 or 5ish. Do everything that needs to be done. Then latest by 8 I've started what I need to start for that day. Yeah. If it's a screenplay I'm writing, usually I try and pace myself per page. There's an amount of pages I need to have written by the end of that day. It doesn't always happen that way, but even if I've not written those pages, I need to have made some progress in the flow of the story, at least in my head, or in the story structure. I would have written some things down, because sometimes amount of work doesn't always result in pages. It could result in the story foundations being stronger, and all the links and the character arc and flows and everything working right. Do I have any bad habits? Sometimes I can I said sometimes. Overthinking. I think it's a bad habit. It's good and it's bad. Overthinking helps when I need to analyze stuff work-wise. I look at things and I ask a lot of questions and I want to know more. But sometimes overthinking means when there's nothing more to know, you're pushing it. And then overthinking can lead to worrying about stuff that isn't even there to worry about, So these days, I'm trying to allow God just take over me, not making something that should be a gift in terms of looking deeper, not letting it turn into also a negative. It needs to be done. It needs to be done in the right amount or something. What's the word? It needs to be done right. Tell us one thing about you that we wouldn't know. I'm a really good cook, but I don't love to cook. So it's like, and I don't know if that's a good pairing. So it's like when I cook, it's really good. I can get all extra about it, doing chef stuff, grating cheese, just being very extra, like Toluwani's cuisine. But then sometimes to get me to now cook is almost like, Lord, it has to be it just has to be that the time is right. It's not just something like I would just do, which I've gotten a lot of I guess I've made people annoyed by that, because it's like, a responsible young lady, you should be passionate about stuff in the kitchen. And I guess my logic was like, since I can do it and I can do it well, what else am I supposed to prove again? I don't know if it has to do with boredom or something like that. One thing you wouldn't know about me, I can cook quite well, but I really don't love cooking. Like so often. It's not, the kitchen is my dream place, it's my happy place, it's where I want to be 24/7. Not necessarily, but I can do it quite well. I guess because I want people to enjoy food I make when I make it, and I want it to taste good, and I don't do things in half measures. I think I need to find a balance, because I guess in my culture, food, cooking is a love language of sorts. So if a person doesn't really love that space, it could seem as if you really don't care about the people around you. Even though that's not the case, I need to learn how to communicate something that means love to someone else. So yeah, something you don't know about me, and I don't know, it has its, I don't know. I'm growing, because it's not just, you don't just do what you enjoy doing. Sometimes you do what people need you to do because they need you, and you can give to them in that way, and it means something to them. So that's the honest truth there. So that's the get to know me tag. Do you feel like you know me better? Are there other questions I should have answered that I didn't answer? Just let me know in the comments. And then also, please tell me about you. Tell me about you. I want to know you. Like I said, I hope we get to know each other. So tell me about you. Even if you can tell me 2 things I didn't know about you before, just 2 things you would like me to know about you if it's the first time you're coming here. Yes, before I forget, please like, please subscribe, please share, and tell me what you are looking forward to seeing. Maybe next time it would be my career story. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Love you.